What's going on, guys? Hey, how are you? Repeat back with you for night number two. Night number two to talk about an amazing 8 to 9 week season that is coming up with the BeWater Be Fast iRacing series, sponsored by the one and only Green Concepts, owners and operators of BeWater. Man, I tell you what, I'm absolutely looking forward to this. Just got back from dinner with my wife and some friends, and I was actually looking forward to getting home and getting this stream going to get some more information out there. And as I look at this screen, Be Fresh with the only premium American artisan water. And I look at all the different B's on the right-hand side. Be generous. How much does that actually come into play with racing? We'll have to find out. Same thing with Be kind. Be strong. You always want to have a good, strong setup. You want to have a good, strong grip on that wheel for all the different kinds of tracks that you're going to endure and encounter and take care of during this season that's coming up. You want to be good, you want to be fresh, you want to be hydrated for every single one of these tracks and all the great competition that you're going to come across. Be courageous. Who's got it in them to make those moves when they need to be made, all while listening to your sponsors, so we don't have a whole bunch of wrecks? Be aware. Yeah, track awareness during all these races is going to absolutely be something that you're going to need. And be patient. Yeah, be aggressively patient. Do what you got to do to try to work your way up, because when it's all said and done at the end of this season, being patient but knowing when to make the right moves could absolutely pay off. So a lot of people, BeWater Green Concepts is a fairly new company, and they've entrusted in this brand new series through communication with Jordan Bain to trust us in getting the word out about their company, their stock, their sales, their everything. And oh, by the way, at the end, there's a huge cash payout for quite a few people. When have you ever come across a league where 30 people are paid out? Normally it's like the top 3, top 5, and that's usually about it. Here, your top 30. But you want to know more about BeWater, who they are, where they come from, what they're doing, and, Jordan's got all the information. Let's go ahead and, take a look.
The BeWater Be Fast series, brought to you by Green Concepts Inc., INKW. As Green Concepts launches into 2022, they've chosen to invest in us. But who is Green Concepts Inc.? Maybe you saw them on the 41 for Dawson Cram Silverado at the end of 2021. Maybe you've seen them at your local Camping World stores. It's possible this is the first time you're hearing about them right now, which would make sense as they've chosen us to be the primary vehicle to spread their message of healthier living. BeWater is sourced from springs located in the Blue Ridge Mountains and bottled at the Green Concepts Beverage and Bottling Plant nestled in the rolling hills of Marion, North Carolina. BeWater is a fresh, artesian spring water that optimizes hydration. To purchase your first case of BeWater, please visit their website at www.bewaterbu.com. Click on the Purchase tab at the top, and don't forget at checkout to enter your promo code BeFast to receive a $5 discount. Green Concepts Inc. recently went public, which means we have the additional opportunity to help them improve the beverage space with healthier and industry-leading innovation for hydration and health. They're supporting us, so let's support them. Ticker symbol INKW. The BeWater Be Fast iRacing series. BeWater, be fast, be supportive. Now let's go racing.
All right, so there you go. There's quite a bit of information out there about BeWater. It's a company that bottles their water right from the rolling hills of Marion, North Carolina, just out on the western side of my state. I believe this is out past Hickory and further out in the mountains. And I also did a little bit of research into this water. This water has a pH level of 7. So you hear a lot about alkaline waters and waters, out of the tap and whatnot, other bottled waters. And they've got, pH levels in the 9s and down in the 5s and the 4s and even up to like 11 and whatnot. The higher you get, the worse it is for you. The lower it is, it does absolutely nothing for your body. This water has a pH level of 7, which means it is the purest of purest waters that you can possibly get. And during this season, there's going to be quite a few people that actually pick up a case of water completely on BeWater. They're going to be given out during the streams, but we're going to get to that here just a little bit later. So you saw in that video that Jordan did, you can find their water at Camping World stores, of course, on their website, and a few different other places. They've done a lot of charity work during the issues out in Kentucky. I believe that was just a couple last week, and they've helped out a lot in other natural disasters. So big kudos to them. Now, how is this all going to fit into racing? Maybe you ask. How is this going to appeal to you? Well, Jordan, he's been hard at work with trying to get all that in to figure out. And could this be a fit for you? Do you want, a league where you just come out, you race as hard as you can, as clean as you can, and maybe walk away with a few bucks in your pocket? Let's see what Jordan has to say now.
Look, just give me a league with simple rules that has a good balance between competition and fun. No teams and team drama. Place to come race, respect racing in a fresh way. And if someone could figure out how to do that with a small entry fee and a bunch of prize money, yeah, sign me up.
All right, so there you go. Just a little bit more information, and you kind of caught a little sneak peek at what also was coming up there. But he just threw all kinds of information at you in a very, very short amount of time. But you get the gist of it. $20 on or by January the 3rd, or once registrations are closed. They're closed. We are looking at 8 weeks. During those 8 weeks, we're going to start off with ARCA. ARCA for the duels, ARCA for Daytona, and then you're also going to run another race in ARCA. You're going to run 2 weeks in truck, 2 weeks in Xfinity, and then 2 weeks in the next gen car. So 8 total weeks, starting off with the Daytona duels on January the 3rd at 8 o'clock p.m. So again, January 3rd, 8 o'clock p.m., you're going to race the duels. Now, Usually, most lobbies they carry about 43 people, give or take, and then the rest is like, hey man, sorry you didn't qualify, you didn't make it. That is not going to be the case here with this BeWater Be Fast iRacing series. Every single person will get a chance to race, and we're going to go through the points and the way they're structured here in just a little bit. So nobody's going to be left behind. In the A main, you're going to see a different point structure than those in the B main. Only the A main races are actually going to be broadcasted by yours truly, with great help from Jordan Bain in the booth. Bain decided that he wasn't going to get into that Be Fast Ford Mustang. He was going to stay off track, and he was going to he was going to be in like kind of race control, all while helping out his other admins, Mike York and Stan Carnathan, in making sure that the races, both in the A main and the B main, are ran as efficiently as possible. So now you ask, all right, Pete, what is it? What are these races? I mentioned 2 in ARCA, 2 in Truck, 2 in Xfinity, and 2 in Next Gen. So let's take a look at that. Here we go. So I mentioned January the 3rd, Daytona qualifying and duels ARCA, 30 laps. So we're going to go out, we're going to qualify as you normally would, try to hold as steady as a wheel on that bottom line for your 2 laps. And more will come out as far as how the races are set up. But I can tell you, just like in normal Daytona qualifying for the real 500, the top 2, they are set. All right, they know that they're going to race in the A main come January the 10th. Monday, January 10th, Daytona ARCA, 70 laps, 3 sets of tires, fuel at 50%. Throw a little bit of strategy in there. We always see people kind of hanging in the back. They're able to run a few more laps. Also, in case that big one comes out, maybe they can get on the binders before they end up in any kind of an issue. Also, you got to hope that being in the back, it doesn't happen right in front of you. That is what it is. I believe that Jordan, Mike York, and Stan Carnathan have been tossing around the idea about a single repair. So if that's the case, you'll have that to fall back on, but nobody wants to have to do that. Same thing is coming down pit road. If you think about some of your prior racing, whether it's on console or not, if you get into groups with people, you can kind of communicate on what you're going to do. It used to be one car go all the way down towards the bottom or towards the inside wall, one car go high, one car go low, one car go high. That way you're staggered, and if the person in front of you gets on the brakes a little bit harder than you ain't got to worry about hitting them in the rear end. That's one of the biggest things about super speedway racing, but that's about the only time you're really going to have to worry about that. So after Daytona, the very next week, Atlanta Motor Speedway in Xfinity. Now, the top 30 drivers from Daytona, they're automatically going to be locked into the top 30 positions for Atlanta. They know they're going to race. The remaining 13 spots are going to come by qualifying. And then you've got your B main race. We're going to go over the points and how they all affect you and everybody during the 2 races. All right, so Atlanta Motor Speedway, 80 laps, 4 sets of tires, because we know how rough that track is on tires in Xfinity. And again, fuel at 60%, and that will fluctuate a little bit throughout the rest of the season. Monday, January the 24th, Las Vegas Motor Speedway back in the trucks for 80 laps, 4 sets of tires, fuel at 60%. Again, not to sound like a broken record, but the top 30 finishers from Atlanta Motor Speedway, they automatically know that they're racing on January the 24th at Las Vegas, and that's going to carry through every single week. The next race, January 31st at Watkins Glen, I am particularly interested to watch, because this is after the brand new scan of Watkins Glen by iRacing, and oh, by the way, it's in the next gen cars. We know how the next gen cars can be a little finicky on the brakes, where you really got to get on them in order to get those things woed up and slowed up, whether it's going down pit road or just getting into turn 1, getting into the bus stop, getting into turn 5 or wherever. You also got to watch your throttle control. Some of those turns can be a little slick, so you got to watch that as well. So after January 31st, the Glen in the next gen, we go back to ARCA at Kansas. I personally have not run a race at Kansas in the ARCA cars, but y'all are going to do it for 60 laps on 3 sets of tires with fuel back at 60%. The remaining races will also all be at 60%. The only one where it's 75% is at the Glen. Everywhere else is 60 or below, going back to Daytona. So Kansas Motor Speedway, whether it's going to be the high line, the Kyle Larson or Dale Jr. line, or on the bottom, if it works in ARCA, is yet to be seen, but that's going to be a great race. We're going to skip all Valentine's Day because we don't want to take you away from your loved one. You can't race hard at Auto Club if you've been hit in the back of the head by a frying pan. Nobody wants to see an iron skillet get tossed at you because you're racing on here rather than taking care of business with your loved one. So February the 21st, Auto Club in Xfinity, 60 laps, 3 sets of tires, and fuel at 60%. Monday, Rockingham Motor Speedway back in the next gen, and look at this race duration. 130 laps, 5 sets of tires, fuel back at 60. I personally feel racing at Rockingham is more abrasive than it is at Atlanta Motor Speedway, hence the 1 extra set of tires, but also you're talking another 50 laps. So you're absolutely going to have to conserve. Could it be fuel conservation and tire conservation? We'll have to wait and see come February the 28th. Then finally, to wrap up this 8 or 9 week season, Homestead Miami Speedway. Why not wrap it all up right where it all wraps up or had in the past? 100 laps, 5 sets of tires, and again, fuel at 60. So you've got all these great tracks, all these different series, very, very different in many, many ways, and you're going to have to figure out exactly what tracks you need more practice at than others in order to make sure you're there when it counts inside that top 30 the previous week. So again, 43 cars or 43 trucks each week. You have to be in that top 30 to know that you're moving on without a question. You don't have to race in that B main. You don't have to race your way in to be in that other 13. But either way, whether you're racing in the A main or you're racing in the B main, you've got a chance at some cash, and you've also got a chance at getting as many points as possible. So to talk about the points, let's go on to the next and see exactly how this all breaks down. All right, so your top left, there is your point structure. First place in the A main is 66 points. 63 points for second, 62 for third, all the way back to 43rd, where you end up with 20 points. Your B main points. First place in that race gets 33 points, second 29, third 27th, all the way back to 1 point at tail end Charlie. Again, but nobody walks away with 0 points. Bonus points. You do get a point for leading a lap, and you get another point for leading the most. But there's more that even goes with that. All right, and that's in the next section here. Are you the cleanest driver out there? Can you run a full 80 or 100 or 140 laps at any given track and walk away with the least amount of incident points? If you can do that, BeWater's got $50 for you. How about that? All right, second half charger. I kind of went over this a little bit more in depth last night, but are you the kind of guy that has to really get a grasp on the season before you feel comfortable. Are you like that Kevin Harvick driver? Are you the closer? Well, in the first 4 races, if you're not that guy, but you can be that guy in the second and make up the most amount of points over everybody, you're consistently in the top 30, maybe you're consistently in the top 5 after maybe struggling in the beginning. Oh, by the way, there's another $50 for you. So there is piles of cash and different tiers of cash that is going to be, given out. And that is literally what BeWater and Green Concepts is allowing the BeWater BeFast iRacing series to do. We are their sole driver, pun intended, to try to get their water out to more homes, which we can go over a little bit more if you'd like to. Also, because as Jordan said, they are a brand new privately traded company. Their stock right now, it's a penny stock. I bought 3,500 shares of it just last week, and I've already made a couple bucks. So, hey, man, I'd love to see this go up. And, oh, by the way, they're doing a little bit more with it. They've just purchased another company. They are going to be infusing hemp with their water. For its nutritious value to drive that up a little bit more. And that's coming in early 2022. So throughout the season, I'm sure we'll have a lot more to say about that. All right, so Q on time. Are you traditionally a great qualifier? Do you go out there, or can you hold the best of line? Do you have the best line? Are you great with the throttle? Great, coming off the corner with the wheel? Can you get that qualifying done? And oh, by the way, when all is said and done, are you able to finish the race in the best possible position? So if you qualify on pole and you finish in P1, P2, and you beat out some other guys that maybe qualified behind you, but also finished a little bit further back in the pack, well, guess what? There's another $10 for you. Q on time. Random drawings. Just picking a driver. Say, hey, man, we really like what you did, or maybe I can kind of talk to Jordan, Mike, and Stan about this. If we've got a good hands driver throughout the race, just a random drawing, hey, man, you did a great job. You saved the car. You didn't wreck the field. You're rewarded. Here's $10. All right, the viewer prize, there is a little bit of a change with this. All right, the viewer prize was originally going to be $20, but like I mentioned earlier, they're trying to get their product more out there, not just sitting on a store shelf at some Camping World store somewhere. So every race, Jordan and I are going to pick somebody random out of the stream, and we're going to give away a case of water. You ain't got to pay tax on that. You ain't got to do nothing. All you got to do is at the end, either DM the Twitter for the BeFast iRacing series, or if you know Jordan personally or me personally, just say, hey Pete, or Jordan or Mike or Stan, I won that case of water. Man, here's my address. We'll get that out to you as quickly as possible. All right, so looking at this middle column, $2,022 prize pool. Your $20 entry fee covers you for the entire season. All right. Top 30 in points lock into the main race. Covered that quite a little bit. 13 spots available for top qualifying after that. Your schedule. We just went through all that. Daytona qualifying and the duels. That's going to be 1 week. The following week, we're going to get to Daytona. We're going to get down. We're going to get dirty. We're going to get drafting. And, man, I'm absolutely looking forward to a great super speedway race with the caliber drivers that are in this series. It's going to be a lot of fun, I promise you. After Daytona, Atlanta and Xfinity, as a recap, Las Vegas back in the trucks. The Glen with the next gen. Man, looking forward to that as well. Kansas in ARCA. Man, coming off some of those corners, you could really turn under people. Jordan had a little bit of a clip of that not too long ago. A lot of fun. Those cars are really, really good, but you got to kind of watch bump drafting, which is another reason that the Daytona race is going to be very interesting to watch, because there won't be any nose to tail pushing down the straightaways, and certainly not through the tri-oval or in the corners. So I mentioned Kansas, then we go to Auto Club in Xfinity. Rockingham, the longest race of this season in the next gen cars, and then wrapping it all up at Homestead. And then we move over to the right-hand column after those big, bold green letters on the bottom. Top 30 receive prize money. And here's how that prize money breaks down. First place, lion's share. Not to mention any contingency or additional bonus prizes that are won by the first place finisher. So first place, $500 to start with. Second place, $250. Again, could be added on. Third place, $150. Fourth, we're going to add $100 C-note right out the door. Fifth place, $75. Sixth through 10th, yeah, why not another $50 for every single one of those spots? 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th, $50 out the door. 11th through 15th, $25. 16th through 20th, $15. 21st through 25th, $10. And then 26th through 30th, $5. Again, that does not include any money that you may win for being the cleanest, being the best in the second half or the last 4 races, how you qualify and how you finish, just a random drawing. And then, of course, the last one is for the viewers, where we're going to be giving away cases of BeWater, America's Artisan Water. So there you have it, ladies and gents. There is a whole lot out there, whole lot going on. If this is something that would interest you, please reach out to me. Reach out to Alpha York, Michael York. Reach out to Stan Carnathan, Fatless Dig. Reach out to Jordan Bain or Bainer 9588. Reach out to any of us. You can send me a whisper right here on Twitch or Twitter, Facebook, Discord, wherever you want. Just make sure you reach out. Spots are filling up phenomenally fast, and it's going to be a great time. I can't wait for all this to kick off. I mentioned in the beginning of this that I was just out to dinner with my wife and some family friends, and I couldn't wait to get back here and get this going. I'm going to talk about this every single day up until January the 3rd. I can tell you that just recently, Jordan Bain put the series information out there, I believe, on the iRacing Discord. So it's out there on Facebook, it's out there on Twitter, it's out there on the iRacing Discord, it's out there in many, many places. Don't wait too long. $20 gets you in. And then, man, you get ready to go. If there's races that you saw in the previous slide where you know what, Pete, maybe I'm not that great at Rockingham. Well, you know what? Throw up a test session, get out there, get turning some laps, because as you can see on this slide, it is all absolutely worth it. So you're going to join me and Jordan Bain, hopefully in the top 3 at the end of one of these races when we interview our winners and as Rick James would like to say, the podium. You don't want to be missing. You don't want to miss out on any of this cash by a great sponsor in Green Concepts BeWater. Please, don't miss out on this. Most of us are competitive by nature, and this is one hell of a series that you're gonna want to be competitive in. Oh, wow, that was a lot to get out there, but absolutely very well worth it. I hope to see you out there, and I hope to be talking about you on track in the very, very near future. So again, I'm going to do this one more time tomorrow and every day thereafter to get this set. Y'all have a great night. Thanks for coming out, hanging out, chatting it up, and we'll talk to you soon.